A slum boy merely tasted a bit of caviar that had fallen on the ground, only to inadvertently discover that this million-dollar delicacy was so pungent and fishy it was worse than excrement. From that moment on, he understood a truth. The wealthy only consume things that match their status symbol, caring nothing for the actual taste of the food. Years later, through the packaging of a PR firm, he became Paul, a world-renowned top chef. To dine on his cuisine, one must reserve 3 years in advance. This hunger marketing strategy successfully attracted the global elite, and each of his dishes was extraordinarily special and unique. A small spoonful of blood sauce with a tiny roll of cooked beef? This was the dinner for these top tycoons and aristocrats. The plate was 10 times larger than the food, with a sprig of herb placed in the center. What seemed like simple ingredients became expensive delicacies because of Paul's reputation. The nobles devoured the beef bite by bite, not even sparing the blood sauce on the plate. Watching the aristocrats swallow the bloody delicacy, Paul, who came from humble beginnings, felt pleased inside, for he was using this method to take revenge on these wealthy people every day. He thought everything was progressing smoothly, but good times didn't last. One day, an ordinary family who had waited 3 years finally secured a reservation at this restaurant. But when Paul was checking the dishes, he took just a small sip with a spoon and immediately dumped the entire pot of French soup. He then filled it with tap water from the faucet, adding nothing but 2 packets of instant noodle seasoning. The humble family of 3, because of Paul's reputation, didn't notice anything unusual about the food, and even savored every sip of the hard-won delicacy. Back in the kitchen, Paul flew into a rage. It turned out the little girl was allergic to seafood, yet the sous chef had carelessly added a large shrimp to the soup. Paul, who demanded perfection in everything, wouldn't allow his team to make even the slightest error. In truth, he wouldn't allow anyone to potentially destroy the celebrity chef image he had painstakingly built over the years. Paul continuously berated the careless sous chef, who finally couldn't take the humiliation anymore. He grabbed a kitchen knife and stabbed Paul in the abdomen. Paul was severely injured and required long-term hospitalization. During his hospital stay, he came to understand many things. He wanted to retreat behind the scenes and decided to pass on his culinary skills and business methods. To cultivate someone who could inherit his mantle, he sent his assistant everywhere to scout for suitable candidates. A talented young girl from a poor background successfully caught the assistant's attention. Every customer who had tasted her stir-fried rice noodles praised them endlessly. The assistant merely picked up a small portion to smell and was immediately won over by the soul-stirring aroma. He immediately handed the girl a business card, telling her she shouldn't waste her talents here. However, the girl just glanced at it silently, then reluctantly tucked it into her pocket. At that moment, the girl didn't yet know that her entire life would be changed by this business card.